System. It is Rune June. We're running it back with the first episode in Rune June. I feel good. I feel great. The entire ecosystem is running up. We finally don't look like moronic idiots who are back holding a slow change on-chain fungible token protocol. I'm happy none of that go through.
I think none of it's working right now, but hello. Can we get a test in the chat here? Chat, blow us up. What's going on, man?
Chat, can you hear me? Chat.
Shalom, shalom. We got Rocky.
Hi, Rocky. Hi, Shalom. What's up, y'all?
Robot. Oh,
he says we're roboting.
We're robotos. Robot core.
Oh, is it? Are we rugging?
Hello.
Hello? Are we still roboting?
All right, we're better.
Are we Gucci?
Of the broadcast.
All right, we're good.
I ran out of energy after that intro.
All right,
okay, he said we're good.
Should I run them back?
Yeah,
What's up,
back,
DJs of the Ordinals System? It is Rune June. Our bags are up. We don't look like morons for bag holding. Everything feels good. We're not facing max pain anymore. How are you guys feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling great, man.
I feel hype. I'm like, I'm up, bro.
Last couple days, man. We're finally back.
Oh.
Runes are back. Our bags are back.
I mean, is it back?
We're no longer poor, right?
I'm still poor, but it's
we're
good. Like
there.
the chart goes up and it looks green. What about you, Elmo?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I mean, things are running. It looks like, Pups is making a rebound. Puppets are making a rebound. There's a lot of projects that are making a rebound, and it's
also this man just sold out the art project, so big congrats to Orange Cube. That was super sick.
Huge congrats.
Especially huge congrats to Orange Cube, especially
Thanks,
selling out ordinal projects during Rune Mania. I think is super impressive.
Yeah.
and a purely art project,
and it's pure art.
No
so that's dang.
runes or any of that stuff involved.
1,000
man.
editions at $100, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you talk? I guess before we go into a lot of these topics, can you talk about some of your takeaways from that whole experience? I think we all know how fucking stressful launch
Yeah, dude. How do you feel? You feel the weight
dude.
lifted off your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
You
No,
sleep like a baby.
I did sleep like a baby last night, and then I woke up this morning and I was like, fuck it, we're good, man. We made it. There was a lot of cool takeaways, man. I mean, there was a lot of people that didn't think it was possible, but ultimately at the end of the day, it was. But also,
did you believe in yourself regardless of everything?
Absolutely,
that's certain. I think that's the ultimate alpha.
100%.
Like in the corniest way possible. It's like fuck everyone else, bro. If you believe in yourself,
man.
that's what you need.
Yeah. No, I've fully I have a vision and where I want to take this. Job's not done, right?
Job's never done.
Job
is never done.
But yeah, we're off to a good start. There's definitely some takeaways. I think one of them was I fucked up on the allotment for each wallet to mint. I just did one and one.
Did you want multiple per phase?
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I received a lot of complaints of people that were trying to buy more, and so they were
having the whale complaints. You're
dude,
like, bro, why can't I
complaint.
only mint one? That's good though. That's really cool.
It's a good one. Yeah,
means you have a really solid holder base. Okay, secondary.
Absolutely. Yeah,
they can help with secondary.
There was a wallet today that's holding 97, which is pretty impressive.
It's like 10%.
The whale wallet.
It's like
9.7%.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was pretty solid. Other than that, I mean, everybody seems like they're pretty happy about it. I mean, they got a lot of really cool things that we have coming for that project specifically, and then we have more projects and different artists that we'll be releasing here in the future as well.
Okay,
so, yeah.
That's sick. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I guess. What are you thinking about for sort of? I know it's probably the last thing you really want to think about of what's next, but what can we maybe sort of expect from Orange Cube?
Oh shit! I mean, so far I've got 3 different artists that I've got lined up, and I've got more that have hit me up now that the whole dust is settled and everybody's like, oh, okay, he can actually sell things out. Everybody's like, oh, okay, well, can I release with Orange Cube? So yeah, we got some stuff coming. I don't know if I can entirely say what we got coming, but we also have an auction, 15 edition auction, that's going to be coming here soon, and that's actually the main low edition piece that accompanies this high edition piece that we just released with the artist Tantan. So a lot of cool stuff happening.
That's sick. I'm looking forward to it. When the Rune Profits comes in, we got more things to rotate into, so that's good timing.
Sir.
But why is Rune's back, Sir Bickard? Also, we just got chat. We finally got chat on the thing. That is super sick. So I'm high.
Honestly, it's a big improvement. I like the way, it's just moving all over now.
You could put it on my chest if you want the black background.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Stay
what's going on?
You guys could talk on my body.
We need like the green screen on your on your chest there, and then it would be good. But
chat
no,
are my children now.
I think dog is leading here, and I think like the reason for that is maybe for a number of different reasons, but like the meme is working.
Dog is actually going to the moon.
This is just consistent bull post after bull post.
Dog is actually going to the moon.
Yeah,
like holy shit.
What do we think though? Like if this hits 1 billion, is it going back to like 500 million?
I was talking to Blue about that, and we were trying to analyze it. We're like, he thinks that if it breaks 1 bill, it might just kind of like rebound. But see, I'm more hyperbole. I think 1 bill is that psychological barrier right now, and if we break that, I think 1 billion becomes the floor price for dog. At least in this current thing, assuming that the entire market doesn't break, assuming like Bitcoin actually stays and consolidates around its price range right now, I think 1 bill becomes a floor, and we break out past that.
Yeah,
and that would be
I mean,
sick.
We'll have to see. Like obviously with major breakouts, you're gonna see a retracement, right?
We are seeing a mass retracement in the entire rune space right now, but every rune bag is consolidating above the previous run, which is really nice.
I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen, at least like with how these runes and any of these shit coins on Bitcoin kind of like work, is the fact that like when transaction fees start getting a little bit higher, people start to kind of like, back off a little bit and wait for the mempool to cool off.
In terms of buying secondary?
I think so. And minting, obviously. But I definitely see a lot of people once the mempool fees start spiking, people just kind of like back off a little bit. And
but isn't it spiking because people are aping it like in mass, like we're buying?
More so minting, right? I think people are trying to like front run different mints. I mean, we've had a couple of mints in the past 24 hours that have, of course, cooked.
Yo, mints are cooking, bro. That's the greatest sign.
Age of Aquarius. And Leroy.
Age of Aquarius and Leroy were fat cooks that came up.
Okay, I have to ask. Like, I don't even know what Leroy Jenkins the meme.
Leroy Jenkins. I'm younger than you. What?
I know.
Okay, so Leroy Jenkins. I love this meme so much. So in World of Warcraft, you could raid with your team. It's like a MMORPG. And in World of Warcraft, you have these dungeon raid instances that you go with your whole guild. So you have like 20 people in the same party trying to like working together to fight the same boss. So there's boss rooms. So the boss doesn't start until someone attacks the boss and goes in. So there's this meme from like the olden days of the internet where everyone's like trying to like the raid leader is organizing it, and like one of the members just says, "Fuck this, let's do this, Leroy!" And he just charges in, attacks the boss, then everyone dies. It was like it's a great meme.
That's like an OG gamer.
So
meme.
It's like an OG gamer meme.
Okay, that's cool.
And like
that's
no one's
cool.
talking about how it's from World of Warcraft.
It was like a
and it saddens
final
me.
boss.
I thought it was like from a movie.
No, it's from World of Warcraft.
I mean, it kind of
was
like
my child.
Movie, like for people in our age, like growing up, right? It was like a video. It wasn't just a meme,
game,
But it was like this kind
of. At least I got chicken.
There we go. But it was hilarious. It just charges in and then starts the whole thing off, and then everybody's like, "Oh fuck, Leroy," But it's a classic meme.
And we're only sort of like trading or really like selling stuff on Magic Eden right now, right?
Yeah, I think Magic.
Touching Unisat?
No, I'm not touching Unisat. Magic Eden just took dominance and it's really interesting because Magic Eden had no like dominance or no support for BRC20s. And so that was Unisat's game, but Magic Eden, I'm sure they saw the opportunity, and clearly like the building that had charged recently, all of that crazy shit happening, and all the trading is happening on Magic Eden runes. Like I remember one of my homies minted Age of Aquarius, and he's like, "Bro, this shit's dead. There's no volume." I'm like, "What side are you on?" He's like, "Unisat." I'm like, "Bro, check Magic Eden." He's like, "Holy fuck, my bags." I was like, "Yeah."
I mean, that leaves open some serious arbitration opportunities, right? Because there's a lot of people that just sleep on Unisat. And sometimes you can see full pages of stuff that's like exponentially,
this is alpha regarding that, but SAS Screener is an aggregator for everything. So that's a chart aggregator. So if you just go on SAS Screener and you click on a rune, you could actually see the prices at sat range of different marketplaces for a rune. So you could like ace the arbitrage there. Especially like if a rune is gonna pump, it's gonna pump first on Magic Eden. So I think if you see in this alpha, if you see a rune pumping on Magic Eden, then you should be able to go on that site and get the arbitrage opportunities up.
Yeah, and I think there's also just a number of now I think a little bit more available tools to use. So you have of course Magic Eden, I think for trading, buying, selling, all that sort of stuff. But I've been using a couple of these different sort of bots. I think in your Discord, the Bootallions are the alpha, as well as some others, right, that are tracking wallets and sort of tracking like trending mints, and then of course like trying to pick those up before of course they mint out or get front ran.
It's so funny like seeing you're the Cody covering your face.
So
Genny data is really good for tracking mints.
Is it Genie or Genie? Or we always like,
dude, I'm gonna say Genie data.
Okay, Genie data.
Well, that's also like an interesting point. So Magic Eden just hired Elizabeth Olsen for their wallet, and I know they're adding mobile support. So Magic Eden is really trying to take dominance just all around. It's very interesting to see. I mean,
bit of a shakeup, honestly.
Well, if they want dominance, they gotta set up a ranked auction platform. I'm just right now, right? I'm looking for a ranked auction platform. Magic Eden, come on.
Yeah.
I think it'll come. I think when we get the art meta, I think that would be a priority.
Have you tested out, or you as well, Amo? Have you guys tested out the Magic Eden mobile wallet?
No, I didn't know it was already available for testing. That sounds nice.
They just released the test flight version of it, and I think are working through a bunch of bugs. But like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I do think though, my thesis is still, I think Xverse is going to continue to be, I guess, the top. I think they put in the work really, really early, and I do think that at least for wallets, the experience is really sticky. And you start to think, more and more about like how you move your money, or like if you want to move your money, when it comes to of course wallets. I don't know. I still think that Xverse is sort of like the best all around, and also the best for if you're just getting started.
Yeah, I'm always thinking. I think so. I don't know how. When it comes to being multi-chain, which is the whole point, or in my opinion, of the Magic Eden wallet, it gets very difficult to have very good experiences per chain. And that's why I think I'll always use Xverse, because it's like right now, I know they did stacks in the past, but full focus has been on Ordinals. They have like the Ordinal Xverse ledger support. They have more like the really solid mobile app and all of that coming out. So I'm really bullish on just like Xverse specifically for Ordinal stuff. But I love Magic Eden wallet for swapping and trying out other chains.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I need to get liquidity from other chains and other chain bozos like Ethan Soul and bring it back to Ordinals where it rightfully belongs.
Is
and
there
Bitcoin.
Like a diamond bonus for like using a Magic Eden wallet over?
I think there was if you had the beta at the start, but I don't think there is now.
Yeah, I don't think it's also become clear like if that's going to continue. I assume though there'll be some sort of rewards that come over time from Magic Eden wallet, but I think that they're waiting a little bit more to roll out all of the extra features, and I think like the diamonds are still like. There's no set price on those.
No,
yet, right?
Aren't they like traded on like Whales Market or whatever?
I think so, but like I think the volume is just so minimal there because I think like people are just unsure how to really start to price those.
Yeah.
I think it's really difficult. Like, is it one diamond equals one token, and like I don't know. Who knows the total supply and all that sort of shit.
You need a diamond rune. Also, speaking of runes, in terms of this recent run up, we've seen some runes just absolutely rip and tear. And some runes kind of get left behind. Do you guys have any insights on like the runes, like the top runes you're looking at?
Wanko Manko
rune.
I guess like let's talk a little bit about like which ones have really been left behind. I think one of the ones that comes to mind, I think first is like decentralized. I feel like that kind of got a little bit left behind maybe over the run. I don't know like the actual price data.
Dude, a lot of the tops, so like the previous tops, I think right now we're actually seeing, so in my opinion, what's getting left behind are the runes whose Twitter accounts are super inactive and aren't posting or don't have memes. Right now, when it comes to memes on runes, like that is the number one thing that is hurting all attention. Like we have literally forced a meme attention economy with runes right now. So I think everything getting left behind or not pumping just has a shitty rune, like a meme game.
I mean,
and a lot of the tops aren't posting. Like I know Arsic ain't posting. Someone talked about that on Shin Space right now. Decentralized. Even Pups has kind of just remained stagnant.
Oh yeah.
I think in terms of that,
I think there's a big lesson in there too, right? Because like while everybody was running scared, like runes are dead, ordinals are dead, right? The people that actually decided to stay around and actually lean into that and build even more during that time, while everybody was gone, got more eyes on them. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like now, that things are back, everybody's like, oh, well, I'm going to be with the person or with the project that is going to be around that's proven to me that they're not going anywhere. So, yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, too. Like, dude, when it comes to runes and everything going on right now, it's literally mass attention game. Yep. Like, how many of these runes can literally retain mind share in the minds of all of the degens in the ecosystem? And when it comes to, like, retaining and leaning into it, that's why, like, I'm going to use Wanko Manko as an example. Mm-hmm. It's like our whole hypothesis is, like, look, if we take mind share, if we establish ourselves as, like, the rune meme coin of the Bitcoin ordinal ecosystem, we've established like a cult community who absolutely loves the meme, rides by the meme, dies by the meme, and we've just established like good memes in mindshare, just nonstop posting. It's like, bro, we're not gonna wait for the rune market to come back until we start posting again. Like we're gonna start during the bear when shit's dead. We're gonna establish and we're gonna be sticky. So by the time things actually run, shit runs. And let me tell you, the price action recently, oh my God, bro.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's like, I remember, I think peak, it's always, so we've always had like diamond-handed holders for Wanko. So even during like the runes are dead period, I think the bottom was at 9 cents, which was really cool. Like the bottom kind of bottomed out at like a $10 million market cap. And during this recent run, or I think like lesser than that, and during this recent run, I think we were sitting at 30 cents and pulled back to 25 cents as of today. But like, bro, that's so good.
Oh yeah.
I
I do think like we're starting to see a lot better memes overall, right? Not just of course from, you know, I think like Wanko Manko and other sort of other, I guess, like staple.
What are your favorite memes coming out?
Coming out, I mean, I
or that are like currently established.
Oh, I mean, I do like Wanko. I like Epic. Yeah. Like I think like Epic,
that's interesting because they haven't really posted me. They have been posting. They started, but they haven't really been like memeing yet.
But I'm pretty sure they want to try and position that as like a meme, right?
Yes, I think so.
Right, and so that's one that I think is really interesting. I actually didn't pick up a lot of these like smaller caps. I guess like I think the bags are so heavy on a lot of these other established ones, like I guess like Dog and Arsic and others. But I did end up like minting, I guess, some stuff over the past couple days, like Rats and you know Age of Aquarius and stuff like that. But I don't know, like I do think just overall, the memes are getting better. Like the Twitter pages are getting better. Like they look more and more like I think a Solana shitter.
Yes.
But I wish or I hope that in the future like we do better than Solana shitters.
Oh, we're gonna do so much better than some fuck Solana shitters.
Going to the next level.
Like the thing is, like there are Solana shitters that have really really good memes in terms of that. So I think. Like they were talking about on Shin Space, we're speed running kind of like the Solana meme coin meta that's going on right now. But I think when it comes to just like memes and meme coin, I am proud of the memes coming out. Like there's a new one that I like. I saw like Psycho Hamster, and the reason why I like that is because they posted the meme, and this won my heart. So it's like any rune that wants to like win me over, like just post the Wanko Manko related meme. But they posted the Wanko Manko girl with like big fat bitties and the hamster just like chilling on top of the titties. And I was like, bro, that's so dang.
Well, I mean that's a good way to tap into multiple communities, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that's the way to do it. It's definitely quality. Like there are runes coming out with like quality memes coming out.
So the memes are getting better, but is the tech getting any better?
Yeah, I think the tech's getting better. So actually, in terms of the tech, like I was at the bar with one of my homies, and I told him what I was doing. He's like, "Oh, like what you up to? Like we just met." And I was like, "Oh, I'm like doing rune marketing right now." And he had a disgusted look on his face. He was like, "Runes, Ordinals."
The filth.
I was like, "What's that filthy face for?" He's like, "I don't know. I just think runes are gay because like the tech, like Ordinals and runes are gay. It's like Porsches." And he's like, "It's more so like why try building something that requires." Like he's a software dev, so like when it comes to that, I relate on that perspective. Like, yo, if it's this ancient clunky text, like why are you trying to have something that requires like hyperspeed, all of that things on it? And my simple answer is because it's on Bitcoin. Like there's genuinely no other answer. In terms of tech getting better, I tested this Telegram bot. So the biggest thing when it comes to like trading on Solana or trading on ETH is no one actually uses Dex Screener anymore and manually does the transaction. You have the bots for that. You have the Telegram bots for it. So I tested, there's 2 Telegram rune bots and they're pretty good. It's like it's the same kind of process where you just load it up with Bitcoin. You type in the name of the rune and it like automatically will run it up. You could speed it up in the Telegram bot. You're still a slave to the Bitcoin mempool. So if a block takes 60 minutes, a block's going to take 60 minutes. But in terms of that user experience, it's easy. It's super easy. Yeah. So I think it is getting better.
I think my answer to the question of like, is the tech, you know, getting better? Rune memes are getting better, but is the tech getting better? I had a like a short thread really yesterday, I think, on like why I think, you know, Dog will go to X whatever billions. I think it's
what billions? Really, give me a number.
100 billion, right? I think. Yeah,
hold on. You think that Dog? You think? Hold on. I like that. Billion. You think that Dog?
Listen, I think
could hit
like,
100
you look at all the comparisons, right? Of like market cap of the top Dog coin to, you know, overall market cap of that sort of specific chain or coin. It's still minuscule.
I mean, what about Dogecoin? Like Doge is its own chain. I think they're sitting at what, a 60 billion market cap.
But I guess so. This was like to my point, right? I think that ultimately, like whether it's a chain or not, or it's just, you know, they're trying to just build a community. Ultimately, the thesis for like Dogcoin and why runes are doing well, it's not better tech. Like I think that people like, you know, there's a lot of Solana guys that were like, oh, this is gonna be more efficient than fucking anything we've ever seen, including BRC20s. It's really not. Ultimately, what I think is sort of good about runes is it's the new thing, right? It's the shiny sort of like new thing that hasn't been seen before, that allows a lot of, you know, normies and sort of like people to start to consider like, oh, you can do Bitcoin, you know, shitcoins on Bitcoin, like.
But like the thing is like there definitely does have to be like some serious upgrades, right? We're looking at the mempool right now. It's been sitting on like an averaging around like 30 to like, you know, 50 sats per VByte. And then also on top of that, it's like it's still peer-to-peer, right? So if you're going to have people dumping on you, you're going to need buyers there. So like instead of like dumping into a liquidity pool, right? If we had liquidity pools, we're talking about like you could take this whole thing up an extra notch. Like that small upgrade itself would exponentially increase the liquidity of all these projects.
So Udi told me we could get liquidity pools for runes when OpCat comes out as an upgrade. I think so. This is kind of like my bull hypothesis thesis. I mean, my ultimate thing is I believe in people. Like if you believe in yourself, then I believe in your vision. And Taproot Wizards' vision with the OpCat upgrade and running all of that up is like, boom, okay, Bitcoin upgrades and gets OpCat. It actually got the support of Adam Black, who was one of like the main cypherpunks running it up. He's like, y'all are bozos. OpCat has always been a part of Bitcoin. Like it is a small, minute upgrade that wouldn't fuck shit up. And he was just like tossing support for it. But I see a path in Bitcoin's future where OpCat does get implemented, and that unlocks a whole range of actual usable L2s as well as interesting layer 1 interactions on Bitcoin. Like imagine combining, like right now Liquidium works on-chain lending, borrowing, and spending through DLCs and through BSVTs. Like that is fully on-chain. Like we have a fully on-chain lender, so your liquid JPEG bags aren't so illiquid. Imagine when we get another upgrade and so much more things are going through. And it's like when we get those, I think that we see like an entire new run and just so many new possibilities that I'm looking forward to. And in terms of runes, I think when it comes to like this trading experience with volume, people are like, oh, it's slow to trade, like whatever, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what Bitcoin is for. Like you are talking about the chain that had people who just psychopathically believed in Bitcoin since it was worth pennies. Since 2000, you have holders from 2009, 2010, 2011 that have held for 10 plus years. Like, and when it comes to runes, like the reason why, for example, Wanko Manko is like running up is because, bro, we have like me included, psychopathic holders who aren't listing. Like this is baby, like the runes market cap, the total runes market cap is around 2 billion right now. That is less than Pepe, which is a ERC20 coin or ERC721 coin on ETH. That is less than WIF, which is a Solana shitter. Like you're telling me the entire on-chain fungible ecosystem of Bitcoin is less than memes from other from other chains.
Yeah. It doesn't.
That's ridiculous.
Sense.
So like, I don't buy the whole like trading fast thing. I more so buy people collect. Like, dude, these are runes. You want to collect runes. You don't want to like fucking buy it and dump it instantly. It's like these are my treasure. Like I want to make an RPG game where you could like trade me some runes for your items. Like I'm
like runes,
gremling these, like, bro. I'm holding these.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on a long flight soon, and like really looking forward to diving into OpCat. I think that like Udi, you know, talks and the whole Taproot Wizard team talk a lot about, you know, OpCat being a big change. I'm also interested, like, is there going to be some interesting OpCat art?
OpCat art?
That would be
Is
sick.
there something interesting you can do there with art? So I'm just excited to dive in.
Oh, kind of like OpCat with Ordinals. I think so.
Yeah,
I think 100%.
You know, if it's like kind of like its own little meta protocol or just like a change,
I think so.
Right? Like how do people, you know, interact with it? Like sort of like DMT, right? These little like side things.
Yep.
Although I think OpCat could be a lot bigger than anything we've sort of seen before in terms of like upgrade, but also usability in terms of, you know, liquidity pools, whatever the hell it brings. I'm looking forward
I'm just
to
speaking out of my ass, but like I just listen to Udi and what he says is possible. Like he did the research, so I'm like, cool, I believe it.
Yeah.
But in terms of that, I think there's definitely going to be super interesting interactions you could have with OpCat and Ordinals, OpCat and Runes, OpCat and the Lightning Network, like whatever else is coming out. Ultimately, we'll see. But like the one thing I saw was this on-chain vault locking feature that Rindell prototyped, and that looked really interesting. Where it's like, oh, that unlocks a whole new field of possibilities if OpCat does get approved. We got a comment. Someone said, Bean said, what do you guys think about ending sniping? I think it creates an even bigger barrier. I think I have the opposite viewpoint of you. I'm not sure.
Which is?
You say let the market.
Well, yeah, I guess let the market be the free market. Although I will say I've changed a little bit, but you want to go first?
I was gonna say
someone gets sniped in the mempool. Is that why?
So I'm a filthy, dirty sniper, mostly because like I mostly snipe my things back.
You disgusting.
You despise, you disgusting botter. But I think in terms of that, like, I know Magic Eden mentioned something about fixing sniping, and if we can fix sniping on the front end marketplaces we use, like, yeah, absolutely fix it. It's annoying as fuck. Like, I think one big detrimental thing I saw recently that really made me go, oh, like, this is actually a problem, is that some whale tried sweeping 250k USD worth of node monkeys. And there were like 12, 13 node monkeys in the transaction. One bozo sniper like took one of his node monkeys and that canceled the entire transaction. Yeah. So it just canceled the sweep. Like, imagine I'm a whale. I'm going to bed. I'm like sweeping this shit. And I'm like, oh, I just went to sleep. I just got 13 node monkeys. And I wake up and I have no node monkeys. I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Well,
like, what the fuck?
You know, the reason I guess I've changed a little bit. I think previously my, sort of view on it was, let the free market be the free market. But I think as it sort of progressed now, I think at that time, like, sniping wasn't, I feel like, as bad as it is today.
It definitely got so much worse.
Yeah,
because people
like,
started making tools. Like,
exactly.
Sniping used to be this gate-kept thing where you had to be your own developer in a sense, or like you could also use Sparrow if you were more like technical in that sense. But it was gate-kept. It was very hard to be a sniper if you didn't know what you were doing, if you didn't do Bitcoin research. But with the tools you got now, like Goldmine tools, Lefo's Rune Blaster, that have sniping on the site, now everyone has access to snipe very easily. So I think that's where the big problem came from in the flux of snipers. You disgusting, filthy snipers using free open tools.
Yeah, and it's really, I think, starting to sideline, I think, some people as well as maybe people that have already been in the ordinal space from seriously thinking about what they're going to purchase or how they're going to purchase it, because like they spend $5,000 and only like 2 of the mints or 2 of the sort of runes or ordinals that they purchase actually end up getting confirmed, right?
Yeah,
just get sniped, and it's just like,
it's annoying.
Yeah,
it's like, it's detrimental to volume.
Like,
so
you're about to spend a lot of money, and then like you can't, like, I don't know. So it's really starting, I think, to frustrate a lot of people, especially people with more money. And I hope does get really fixed. I know we've been saying that honestly for like weeks now, but hopefully it gets fixed.
It takes time. I think it gets fixed. Magic Eden, please fix this shit.
Yeah,
please.
Beans, I think, responded as well. If you want to read that.
Wait, what did he say? Oh, and Beans said it's just impossible to buy floors on runes when there's volume and the floor is thin. One sniper ends up getting the whole lot. Yeah, that's extra annoying when it comes to runes, because usually you have floors. So like what I noticed with runes is that, again, people don't list like around Bitcoin. People have been holding for 14 years. You like paper-handed pussies. Anyway, so when it comes to like lists, like the floor price moves up like very dramatically over time. So if something gets volume or there's like a catalyst for a rune, if you sweep the floor, it doesn't matter because someone could just like take your sweep.
Yep.
And that gets really frustrating. And then you have one sniper that's kind of like hogging instead of like a diverse amount of people. I think that's the biggest detriment to runes, is when you have like people coming in rather than, because more diverse holders is key. Like that's alpha when you look at holder count for a rune, because that's less people who could just kind of go, yo, I'm a like full stack dump my entire bag. You have more people who are incentivized to post, are incentivized to market, are incentivized to be a part of the community. And when you take that away and they can't get in and they're like, oh, well, I'm priced out now because this shit just mooned and I lost my snipe, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So I think that'll get fixed. But how are you guys feeling about Bitcoin sitting at 71K?
The macro, baby.
The macro.
I'm excited. Yeah, no, it's definitely, I mean, we've been waiting for this whole thing. And like as Bitcoin explodes, we're only going to see runes actually move with it, right? We're going to see this flywheel effect, right? People are going to see the market cap and the valuation to enter into some of these plays actually increase faster than they expected. And then it's going to see a lot of FOMO just kind of like following. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Where do you guys think Bitcoin's going to be hitting next?
100K. I think we get a dildo to 80K. I don't know, dude. I
think a dildo to 80 is reasonable, but I don't think 100 is out of the question.
Yeah. 700. I think 500K.
Come on, man. Bet more. Right?
No,
I think that we've certainly turned a more macro bullish, if that's even a word, really.
Like the world, are you saying the world economy is getting better?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like
Bitcoin macro is getting better.
Like the ECB is sort of deciding to cut. I think this next week or so, I think, is really crucial because we'll find out what the U.S. ends up doing, right? Which I think also sort of dictates what a lot of the rest of the world does. But yeah, I just think this next week is going to be really crucial as we see how it ends up on the U.S. side of things.
How do you think things are going? Began said there's a political climate. The political climate has started to shift some too. Shifted in a more like crypto negative way. Shifted in a more positive way.
Yeah, what does he mean?
Because like I just know like the thing that happened recently where Trump got convicted and people are like, oh fuck, he's going to jail. I did research with AI. It doesn't mean he's going to jail and he could still run for president. But when it came to that, like, it was just funny seeing the timeline. It's like Trump gets convicted, like 2 days later, Biden vetoes like one of the 3 crypto positive bills we had. I don't think he vetoed the big important one, but it was the bill that allowed institutions to hold Bitcoin. And he vetoed that
banks
one.
to hold Bitcoin.
Banks to hold Bitcoin. He vetoed that one.
Which I don't think is a bad thing.
That one, that one's kind of mid. The one that I'm really
banks.
looking forward to is the Fit 21 Act. If he vetoes that, he's gay. But I need Trump to like start bull posting crypto again. We need to like run that up.
I mean, the more he bull posts, right, the more the Democrats who are currently kind of like in power right now, right, are going to try to, compensate to meet that demand because they understand that there's a lot of people out here financially hurting. And a lot of those people have opted for cryptocurrency as opposed to standard U.S. dollar currency, and they know that that's going to be a tipping point in where they're going to vote, right? So they want to match that, right? And they want to tap into that voter base at the end of the day.
I mean, do you guys think that the U.S. turns on the money printer again? Isn't there a historical thing where every election cycle the money printer gets turned on?
Oh, why wouldn't they?
It's already been
free
on.
money for
It's
everyone.
already been on a little bit.
A little bit. The endless infinite supply and the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, no, I do think that it's already been on a little bit, and I do think it'll sort of continue. But I think my sort of current thoughts are, again, like over this next week, I think will be really critical to see how the U.S. sort of reacts to everything happening. I think I expect probably like them to maybe delay a sort of interest rate decline until like August or so. And so like if that's the case, then like we maybe just range again, just more chop.
I mean, I like consolidation above all-time high.
I do too.
I think it's nice.
do too.
It makes bigger dildos when it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you're getting edged for so long, and then like you finally blow up, and it's like, yeah, I'm like, okay. Anyways, Wolf Bitch is out. That's such a fire name, Wolf Bitch. Wolf Bitch is asking. Why, like, finish your thesis on why dogs go into hundreds of billies.
Oh yeah, it basically like I put it in the thread too, and I think it's basically really because of one line, and I had this realization I think just like a couple days ago after seeing the headline, basically dog coin on Bitcoin reaches X market cap, and it was on like Cointelegraph or something like that, and I think it was later on like Coinbase too, but that I think one line just speaks already to so many different parts of crypto to where it's just like, oh, it's a dog coin on Bitcoin. I didn't even know first that was possible too. Yeah, I gotta own a dog coin because we've seen what's happened in the past to all these other dog coins. So yeah, that's I think ultimately why dog coin to 100 billion.
I mean, you don't think that people will get burnt out from the dog meta? I mean, I have like mad ADHD, so I get very bored of things. Like I'm clearly not bored of dogs yet, but I'm afraid. Like, what if one day it's like I'm just kind of tired of the dog meme coins?
Well, you got cats, and it seems like there's
tired of the animal meme coins.
I mean, let me ask you this though: like, how many?
But I'm not tired of them.
How many ape PFPs have we seen? Right,
a
and
lot.
Of course, you still have apes that are worth X amount of dollars. Like you think that like apes would be done for, right? But I think there's just like this primal understanding of these basic animals that like you can just relate to. And like that's a dog, that's a cat, that's an ape.
Yeah, I love cosplaying and role playing and like pretending I'm a furry animal.
I love being
it's the best thing in the world.
Right?
Like I love
furries.
furries.
Wait, so if you're bearish on other dog coins, wouldn't that mean that you're bearish on your own?
Yeah, but it's because it's not fucking the dog coin.
Initiative.
I think it's different. No.
Okay, I get it. I get your angle there for sure.
I'm not like bearish on dog coins. It was just like a counter thought.
What if?
Where it's like, what if like people get bored? But I was on a space. I was on the I don't know. I was on some space. It was like with Leo and other people, and we were talking. Oh, it was Leap Space. We were on Leap Space at night. And we were talking about just like, will meme coins even be a thing in 5 years? So that was like a question I asked, and then I used AI to research how long human beings have been gambling addict fucks for. And AI said that the six-sided die actually came out 3000 BCE. So we have been gamblers for as long as our Neanderthal brain had the ability to make things. and we could discuss with people. So in terms of will meme coins even still be relevant in 5 years, I think the real answer is, will humans be gambling degenerates for 5 years? And I think that humans will be gambling degenerates for the rest of our lives and for the rest of our future. So that made me more bullish on all of this coming out. In terms of dog, I think dog just established, like dogs in general established itself as the main relatable meme coin on chains. So it's just funny. It's so funny seeing the hypothesis being like dog is for the mid curve, dog is for retail, dog is for the normies, and seeing those headlines where I'm like, oh fuck, his vision's coming to life. Exactly. It's crazy.
And consistency too. Like I think that there's been not really a single other person really in the ordinal space or rune space that I think has posted or bull posted that much for a particular coin, as well as like has of course that sort of amplifier of that following, right? Just like that loudspeaker that he just continues to yell.
Dude, he's spearheading it. It's like, I thought that maybe the tweet, like this was initially, that's like when I first saw it, I was like, yo, he is like spearheading this tweet. So will he ever stop? Dude, he has not stopped.
Yeah.
Like Runestones dropped March 15, and every single day since March 15 he has been nonstop. Like I have so much respect for, like I don't give a fuck about Leo's past, like all of that things. Like he's established himself to me as someone who actually cares about Ordinals and has been like running the space every single day since it came out, even during the dead period, and just like believed in it. And bro, when Dog goes to $1 billion market cap, which I think might happen this week, he has literally spawned out of thin air $1 billion of value into the Bitcoin on-chain ecosystem in the span of 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I just have mad respect. And, like, he's spearheading it. He's making a lot of people who didn't have money. Like, there's a lot of people who just were curious on Ordinals, didn't have a lot of money to like gamble or do into any of that, but they liked the protocol. So they just inscribed a couple of things because it was like, what, a couple bucks? And like those people who just held and liked Ordinals now have a free $10,000 to actually degen with, to actually join. It's like, dude, we got a fat stimmy and we haven't even seen a centralized, like we haven't seen a tier 1 sex listing yet for Dog, which blows my mind. This meme coin is about to hit $1 billion before we even hit a T1 sex listing. Yeah. And usually like the meme coin bull case for like Solana coins or ETH coins, it's bro, when we get a listing, it's wraps. Even we were like, bro, when we get a listing, it's wraps. But before we even got the listing, it's wraps. Also, someone asked me to explain the Winko Manko lore.
Yeah, let's do it really quick and then we'll move to some JPEG.
All right, Bean. I want you to listen closely because this is the lore of our founder who changed our lives. It was around 19. Anyway, so the story takes place in Japan. So like this would be a sick story for a manga and eventually anime when it inevitably gets super popular. But the TLDR of the the fucking effects. The TLDR of the story is that we have this young bachelor who's in his 20s and he's like kind of lonely. He's like a slave to corporate Japan. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go adopt a dog. He goes to the shelter and he adopts a dog and he brings the dog home. He sets everything up. Everything is beautiful. I need to make sure not to mix the story with like the manga we're producing for this. But anyways, so he brings the dog home. And when he gets home, he realizes that this dog actually has the most beautiful human vagina he's ever seen in his life. Like literally, like top of like r/god tier pussy #1 top rated post. And like it causes him to like really like lose his mind. He's like, fuck. Like he gets these temptations to where like he wants to lose to the dog. And like, for example, in one episode, the dog like makes her way into a jar of strawberry jam. And when she takes her snout out of the jam, like her lips get shaded in the shape and style of like sexy red lipstick. And he starts sweating and he's like tempted. He's like, fuck. So he has to like go take a cold bath or watch sumo wrestling or something. Anyways, so like he says in the final episode of the series, he takes the dog to a dog park, and across the park he spots this beautiful woman who has a dog with a beautiful huge human penis. So like they kick it off, they fall in love, but he can't tell. Fuck normies, Pepe. We don't care about normies. Your name's literally Pepe. Do you think normies like Pepes? Boo is not a furry. I'm just saying the story that came. Anyway, so he falls in love with this beautiful lady, and like they kick it off, but Casey can't decide which ending happens. Do we get the good guy ending where the two beautiful people fall in love and the two dogs, the beautiful junk, get each other? Or is it a darker ending where like, boo, your boy gets play, like has sex with like his beautiful girlfriend, but then he like turns to her and asks how it was, and she was like, it was okay, I guess, and looks towards her dog, and the color drains from his face as she realizes that she has lost to the dog and is getting railed by the dog on the reg. Anyway, so in Casey's latest Hell Money podcast, and we really got to talk about the Hell Money podcast.
Yes.
Bro, they nonstop talked about Wanko Manko and like the joy that comes on Casey's face every time he talks and like the laughter. So he told us, I will ask the question. He's like, if a group of degens were hypothetically making a manga, what story element would Casey want to see? Casey wanted to see an element where we actually take this into the quantitative state of the universe, where simultaneously the girl lost to the dog and hasn't lost to the dog at the same time. And he called it Scrudgener's dog fucker.
Ooh.
Schrodinger's
you
dog
should just
fucker.
call
Crazy.
it Scrudinger's?
I don't know. I can't speak
That's
English.
okay. You know, hooked on
Hey, it's all
phonics.
good. No,
baby.
no.
Anyways, so the core of this story is that, like, don't give in to your human desires. Like, we will not lose to the dog. You guys are all strong-willed individuals, and you guys are tough. Like, don't give in to your sinful human temptations. Inonimakimasen, motherfuckers. You're strong-willed. Don't lose! Anyways, that's the story. That's the TLDR.
That was a wildly detailed
Man.
TLDR. I'm just gonna. throw it
Waco
out there.
Mako is like one of the most elaborate, edgy stories I think I've
It goes so
heard.
deep. It pisses
in a
so many
long
people
time.
off.
Yeah.
Bro,
It
no one
does.
understands. Like, the more people get mad, like, I had, like, one person, and like, when I posted the AI meme generator, I had someone in the comments go, I'm blocking everyone in, like, Casey's disgusting dog fucker cabal. But it's like, bro, it's like, don't be a disgusting sick fuck. The point is we don't lose to the dog. Like, furries do not fuck animals. That's what Casey pointed out on his podcast today or yesterday. And it's like, you're a sick fuck if you genuinely think that's what the story is about, and you're illiterate. I would pick up a book and reread the story. It's about not losing. It's about being strong-willed.
Yeah, just don't.
And we're strong-willed as fuck.
I like how the Nat Cat popped up while that was happening.
Oh my
In an
gosh.
appropriate time for sure. So, like speaking of Casey and the Hell Money podcast, what do you guys think about the upcoming 11 character runes? Do you think that's going to be like a big catalyst? Are we going to see better stuff, or is it just going to be like, I don't know? What do you
So
think?
I really like when it comes to the characters and the way that Casey essentially gamified this entire thing with like insane game theory, because rune names clearly matter. Like, depending on the rune name, you get like danker memes, danker names, whatever. So the fact that I don't think it's a catalyst necessarily, but when it came to the Leroy Jenkins mint, that one was what? So that was 12 characters, right, for Leroy Jenkins. So like,
Yeah,
you can have
yeah.
Leroy Jenkins, like a dank OG meme when runes first dropped, but you were able to have it recently ever since it dropped. So I think as characters become lesser and lesser, we kind of get like these mini ups in the ecosystem where it's like, yo, this is a really dank ticker name, and people run it up. And it's like, when we get, like he was talking about in the podcast, he's excited for 8 characters. Like, he thinks there's going to be really creative names with 8 characters.
Yeah.
What about when we get to 4 characters and like all of that things run? So I think that they are mini catalysts. I don't think they're too massive, but
Yeah.
depending on creativity of people, like they could start like hiccup runs, or like people are like, yo, Matt's mint this is a sick name.
Yeah, like crazy little value props, 11, characters. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about ordinals though? Like Frux and all that stuff. I mean, have you guys seen anything that's like new coming out that you guys are very interested in?
New coming out that I'm really interested in. No, I haven't. Like, other than your mint and sort of Vinny Hager.
Yeah.
I wasn't too excited, or honestly have not seen too many other things in the pipeline for what's coming, I guess, to launch pads. I don't know. I think I've been mainly focused on runes for now, and of course, like some of the work that we're doing. But like, I haven't seen too many other mints upcoming. Like,
I haven't seen much. I think there was a mint today called Evil Ords, which was
Evil
Gangster
Ords.
All Stars, and I
Yeah.
heard they sold out.
okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I saw
So
them on the
like, we're
leaderboard.
seeing like mint sold
Little
out.
resurgence.
Frux was cool.
Frux was
I think
cool.
I think
Yeah.
the Microsoft Paint is a puppet derivative, if you
Yeah.
want like my opinion on it. But it was cool that it was a cheap mint and it was a win. Like, it's really nice and it's really important to have like these cheap wins for the ecosystem that like rally people up, and they're like, oh fuck, we can still make money off ordinals. Like, it's still worth to be in ordinals.
What do you think like
they're
the
good
frux
uppers.
even mean? Is that like a frog and a fuck?
With the frog,
Yes.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Like,
what
I
the
think
fruck?
that's-
Dude,
I
I
didn't
love
look too
saying
deep into it.
fruck.
It's like a
I
frog
think
and a
fruck
fuck.
is a fun thing to say. I think
Okay.
the name
Fruck,
in
fruck
itself
you.
is like a meme.
Yeah.
Fruck
Yeah.
me.
I like it.
Fruck the dog. Don't fruck the dog.
Fruck
I like
my life.
It was almost like a Pepe, like a it's like a
Yeah.
Pepe puppet.
Yeah, I think it's a puppet derivative.
But no, it
fine.
was good. I think that 3x'd, right? I think it worked because they had some pretty good marketing. I think they priced it right.
Yep.
I think also timing. Like, there's a little bit more interest in different mints right now. But not much else. Like, there's like Vinny Hager that I guess didn't end up selling out.
How much was he
course.
minting for? What was like the mint? I don't know anything about it.
0.025?
0.025, and how
Yeah,
much
0.025.
stock?
It's like a couple grand or something.
Yeah, that's like a couple, yeah.
How much supply?
It's 200 and something.
200, okay.
I think the total was like something like 4 Bitcoin or something.
How much sold out, or how much sold? That doesn't seem too bad.
19% now as of today. Yeah.
It was what 200 one-on-ones. From Vinny Hager, who is the artist from ETH.
Yep.
That has done a number of different things, but ended up not. But I think still kudos to him for, of course, even trying and of course putting his work on Bitcoin. He had that podcast with Thread Guy as well, talking I think a little bit about Ordinals, but I think there's not been really too much else.
Okay, seems like the barrier to entry for like inscriptions and projects like that is definitely obviously increasing now that mempool fees are higher. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like there's a psychological barrier for Bitcoin when you go like over 0.01 for a minute. People are like, oh,
yeah,
that's bad. But like when you see the 2 zeros, like 0.00x number, people are like, that's nice,
dude. I mean, like when I'm in a lot of these chats, I see people like whenever a new mint comes out, they're like, are we really gonna throw 100 grand at this person? It's like a discussion that happens.
No, it's an important discussion. It's like such a necessary discussion,
dude. I mean, and
it's great because like we never had those discussions in other chains, and it sucked.
And we're not just giving.
I just ape. I don't know what you guys do. I just ape. Like, yeah.
I've been a smarter DJ when I
think about the mint price, but I don't think about the total, I guess, collected.
I think about what could it run to.
I mean, there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
What are the pumpamentals?
What are the pumpamentals?
Right, the pumpanomics.
Like in terms of what kind of project should I buy into in hoping that it pumps and I could flip it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors to take into consideration.
Dude, there's a lot of factors.
Well, it's really everything, I think, that contributes to.
It is everything.
A good mint, and then of course secondary volume, right?
I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed is whitelisting to the proper communities, making sure you have a good diversification. Dude, it's really tough to say. I don't know why Frux had like an influencer push and like a lot of talk in the DGens. It was also good timing because there hasn't been a good mint in a while. Yep. And Frux had I think one thing Frux had is a really good website that was fun. And like people pay attention to the small details when it comes to all of this. Like perhaps that. I just kind of look pricing. Right. I look into pricing. I look into who's behind it. I look into like if they have plans. I look into people's like feelings about it. Are different groups talking about it? How far can they push marketing? Yep. But I think we've really shifted. So with Frux, it was memeable. It was very memeable. So I think we've shifted into how memeable can this get.
Yeah, this character be. I do think, was talking to Elmo about this a little bit earlier. Like whether you're a collection or you're a standalone artist, right, that like similar to Vinny Hager, I think ultimately for a successful mint, you need to sort of have the, the full package, right, from the marketing to, the whitelist side of things, right, to then, of course, the pricing. Like if you sort of miss one part of that, or it's overpriced, or there isn't there's going to be some different sort of issues here and there. And so I think everything really matters when it comes to, of course, a mint, and getting that right, I think, is ultimately, of course, what contributes to the more successful mints.
Yeah.
And I think the free mint meta has been obviously fun on Bitcoin, but also that provides different issues for creators or artists of certain collections. So it's really interesting.
If you're looking for something that's popular and that's possibly going to do numbers, I would say plain and simple, just check your timeline, right? Yeah. Whatever people are talking about, whether they're talking shit on it or they're talking positively about it, that's free promotion.
No, it is awful. So my biggest mistake as a DGen trader in 2021, one thing that really altered the way I traded is paper handing Azuki. So the reason why I went so hard on Azuki wasn't because I didn't even know what the fuck Azuki was. I just knew it was this 1 ETH anime mint, but I was a botter, so I had access to kind of botter connections. And the reason why I ate Azuki so hard when it came out was because smart DGen whales that I was following, they were all collectively going, we're max minting the fuck out of this. So I was like, shit, I threw 100% of my net worth into Azuki at that time. And thankfully it worked, or else I would have been homeless and that would have been horrible. But the lesson I learned is that I instantly flipped Azuki, every single one, for a 2x, because I was like, fuck, number one, this was this was all my net worth. And number two, I was like, how high can a 1 ETH mint really run? And this is where looking on Twitter, and I wasn't really involved with Twitter, but this is where paying attention to the timeline really, truly does matter. The entire space is an attention game. The entire space is just psychology and humans. And when it comes to the timeline, like at the time with Azuki, you could have seen the amount of people running up the profile pics, the amount of people supporting the Twitter, the amount of people talking about it, the amount of spaces happening around it, and just like the consistently, it's like, oh, Azuki's haven't died out. Like it's been 1 month, people are still talking about it, people are bull posting, your favorite influencers are switching their profile pics. So when it comes to looking to your timeline, that is the most important thing. Like Iggy, like the celebrity coin on Solana, it's like you see like all the top KOLs and chains talking about it. You see people on the timeline fighting over it, talking shit over it. It's like no matter what, no matter if it's bad news, no matter if it's good news, if it's on your timeline and it's on your timeline for a repetitive amount of time and you consistently see something, that's just gonna moon.
There's no
that's
such
just
thing.
it's just
Look for
the
the
secret sauce of the space. It's fairly simple. Pay attention to the timeline.
No such thing as bad promotions.
There's
man.
no such thing as bad promotion.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I love when people call me a dog fucker. I'm like, you're a bozo. I'm not, and it's free promotion.
You dirty dog.
Like,
fucker.
no, you know my Mouse. I'm stronger willed than
Does
you.
that happen often or no? That's crazy.
Like, it needs to happen more.
On the camera here. Look at
Oh,
that. You can
what's
see
that?
the full setup here. Everyone that's watching or in the comments.
Piano
This is
in the
sick.
background.
No, we got the grand
I think
piano.
obviously Boo, I guess to what you're saying, right? You're basically saying like, look to your sort of timeline for signal.
Dude, like, so
Right.
when it came, so I would get a lot of alpha and information from alpha groups because I was from sneakers. So they would give you info like, yo, like buy these sneakers. And then there were crypto alpha groups, NFT trading alpha groups, coin alpha groups, where they're like, yo, this coin's going to mean like buy this coin. But ultimately what all of them do is they look at Twitter. Like the alpha forums on Twitter, you'll get the first info on Twitter or in groups. Like Age of Aquarius, like prime example of something that just happened now. If you watch the How Money podcast, you would, and that was on Twitter, it was posted on Twitter, you would have seen a couple of things. So even if you didn't watch How Money podcast, there was someone who made a post that like got popular that summarized the How Money podcast for people. Yep. And in one of the bullet points, it said that Aaron had a rune that was etched and wasn't minted out. If you saw that core piece of info and then went and checked Aaron's Twitter account, like what NFT Boy did, he checked Aaron's Twitter account, saw like this Age of Aquarius rune, saw Aaron mention it like a couple of months ago, and he was like, holy fuck, this is the rune. Like that is a prime example of Twitter being the #1 source of alpha that you could find and get things. Yeah. And then eventually after that, it started spreading in the groups. Like when he started spreading it more in timelines, then people in the alpha degen group started picking it up. But you're getting the info last if you're doing that rather than being on the front lines.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's not just like that with crypto Twitter, too. I mean, for years, like me trading in the stock market, like that's the whole reason why I got on X or Twitter at that time. So,
for stocks?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Stocks, absolutely, yeah.
What were you looking for from Twitter accounts and stuff?
There's so many different, like, oh,
GME
God,
right now
I'm not
and
even going to get into it, but there's like a lot of different, like, serious traders that are on there and, like, news sources that will tweet them before you can, I mean, like Walter Bloomberg, like Delta One. Yep. That's like the quickest way to get any news whatsoever. Yeah, meme accounts. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I mean, there's different ways that you can get news before it breaks on the television, so it gives you a cutting edge.
Oh, so you're kind of like, you're essentially front running
Absolutely.
the greater media by getting the info first. Yep. See, I think that's one thing I need to get better at, and it kind of trips me out because like I'll be looking at this info and I'm like, dude, like, is this like this is the first source of info? Like, can I like make a play off of this? Can I trade off of it? It does require conviction. And I guess that makes sense. How it's like, well, before the news breaks out, before it actually comes info, and it's so. Robin?
I was just gonna say what I think it requires is really like, you just gotta spend the time. Like, I think the only way that we get to of course like what we did yesterday, right, with Age of Aquarius and others did, was just like obviously. Understanding the Hell Money podcast, understanding Erin, like you have to know that she's really into astrology stuff. And then of course from there, like also knowing that, hey, like there's this relation to, of course, Casey, but also the OG Ordinals protocol that like, hey, like there's probably some legs here. Right. And that obviously just takes a lot of experience of being in Ordinals, maybe fucking up on other mints previously that either had relation to like Erin/Ordinals protocol or not. And just continuing to sort of learn and improve from there. Like, it really just takes time, and you got to be in the trenches.
Yeah, dude, I'm a trench warrior to, like, the maximum when it comes to this.
Like, honestly, if you just joined Ordinals, like, 2 weeks ago, and you saw that in one of those, like, in Bootallions or something, like, this is from Aaron. Like, I saw a lot of replies.
People
like,
say, who's Aaron?
Who the fuck is Aaron?
I'm like, what?
How do I explain this
what?
right now? You know what I mean? Yeah.
You guys are asking, who's Aaron?
The
Were you in the
priestess
space?
Of Ordinals.
Exactly.
But, like, dude, it really did, like,
priestess.
open my mind to, like, I only know everything because I've lived in this space for the past year. Like, we only truly know everything that goes on because, like, we live in this space. Dude, like, when NFC Boy DM me, he was like, I think this is Aaron's. I, like, read the name. I saw Age of Aquarius. I'm like, that's fucking Aaron's. That's literally Aaron's.
100%.
So I was like 100%. But it's like, bro, that blew my mind when people were asking.
Yeah.
It was like it really, like, kind of unlocked a new, like, thinking perspective to have where it's like the source of info. It's like, believe in your info more, dude.
Totally.
Like,
I think
crazy.
I think also, you know, looking at some different info that we, you know, the team sort of might have gotten over these past couple of weeks is, you know, the IRL Alpha and Ordinals Are Dead crew were all over the world.
Yeah.
Austin, Portugal. Like, what's up though, guys? I'm the only one that didn't go. So I got to know how it was though.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Austin was pretty cool. I know there was a bit of disappointment as far as like a lot of people being like, you know what, man, I didn't get what I wanted out of this. But I think it was a different crowd because it was like more corporate. And
it was more a developer type of vibe, right?
Yeah. So, but like I found that to be an interesting opportunity, right? I like to break outside of my own comfort zone and meet people that like maybe are in like a completely different world doing different shit, right? Like this crypto rabbit hole can go deep.
It goes
right?
so
and once
deep.
you find something, it just continues to go deep. So it's like I thought it was a great idea. Like I had a fun time, made some great connections. How was Lisbon?
Bro, Lisbon. So I didn't know how big NFC would be. I was invited to speak because I was like, cool. Like, I wanted to speak just to practice more. And when I pulled to NFC, I'm like, oh, it's actually packed. Like, it's interesting how many people in Europe are like different people are flying in for this because it was like, I'm just so like westbound to where it was like, yo, in a different country. Like, I've been to Amsterdam, but that was like more low key. So when it came to the Ordinals event that was at NFC Lisbon, that was packed. Like, there was a separate building for it. Everyone was there. And like in my head, I was like, there's no way that many people in Lisbon are like coming in to like hear about Ordinals or like listen to us speak. But when you go up, so it was upstairs, and we went upstairs. It was like, bro, it was packed. Like, there were people listening. There were like a lot of new people very interested in Ordinals who wanted to learn about Ordinals. That was super cool. And we had like fun OMB dinners. Like, OMB took me to the club. Where, like, everything was super fun. The food was beautiful.
Popping bottles.
Like, the view, the view was beautiful. Like, also shout out ZK. Thank you so much for dinner.
Yep.
That was super nice and it was super delicious. But yeah, it was a blast.
I guess I want to ask both of this question to you guys. Who had probably like maybe the top projects that you thought had the most presence?
Pizza Ninjas.
At Portugal?
For me personally, I don't think it was like many projects.
Okay.
Like, but to be entirely honest with you, Cats knocked it out of the fucking park. Forbes Web 3.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Forbes Web 3.
I mean, like,
Oh, Cats is a go. I love
dude,
Cats.
she's a go.
Yeah.
If you guys ever get an opportunity to go check out any of her events, like,
Yeah, she's
definitely
awesome.
check it out.
No, Cat events
but
are fine. That's real alpha. Cat events slap,
Cat
bro.
events
There's
slap.
really good connection opportunities there.
Inner circle dinners, if you can get into those, that's a win. And then she obviously did host a couple of events at like some serious clubs and stuff. And yeah, that so like other than that, there wasn't like any like projects per se that kind of like.
Yeah, Pizza Ninjas organized a great event because it was Trevor organizing the whole like NFC event. I know they had like the pizza, so they had the Ordinals Lisbon event that they set up. It went beautifully. It was great. His whole team just honestly like fucks. Like, shout out to Pizza Ninjas. Like, they are like a great community and like great team of people. And yeah, like they just had the most presence. Like, I just appreciate the event. It was cool to like have it set up. Also, I know Trevor has the pizza pets coming out, which I think is interesting.
I also like, maybe before we go into a little bit of the pizza pets, like, what do you think? Is it sort of a value add, I think, to do, you know, these events or like sponsor these events?
100%.
Or like, what do you think is the best way to do it? Is it just like slap your logo on a fucking, you know, thing, or host a side event? Or
are you asking like if I am a project? Because there's a difference. There's like, if you like Trevor and Pizza Ninjas, for example, they hosted the event. They sponsored the event. They had their logo everywhere. They had the pizza shit everywhere. But it's also like, but if you sponsor, like, you do get your logo. I'm not sure like how impactful it is to have your logo kind of like slapped and it's like, oh, Booze are sponsoring this. Yeah. Like, to me, like when I sponsored events in New York, like I sponsored Cats and like Bless's event, which was a sick nightclub. Like, we got access to VIP at the like table. Like, I had my logo there and it made me really happy to see it. But I'm like, how impactful is it? But the thing is, like, I was kind of looking into it, And we have like Web2 companies who sponsor baseball games, and all it is just their logo and like their sign there. And I guess it just plays into the human psychology where like you just see it. You're like at a location, you had a good time, and in the back of your head, like passing by, you saw this logo, and then you see that logo again in the future, and you're more attuned, you're more open to it, you're more inviting to it. So like maybe that's the thing. I do think there's plus EV in sponsoring events and like getting your name out there, and it's just fun. It's just like these events are super important. So for me, it's less so how advantageous is it to sponsor these events, and it's more like, yo, like these events are important. I want to help out with them. Right. And like they're super cool.
Just wait to Nashville, man.
I'm excited for Nashville.
Are you guys excited for Nashville?
I'm super hyped for Nashville. I heard there was a cicada swarm over there.
Cicada?
Cicada.
Yeah.
Bro, you need to hook on phonics, man.
No, cicadas are nasty though, man. Like in the south and like the east, it's
I didn't
like,
do my research. I just heard.
Man, like if they're having like swarms over there during the conference, that'll suck.
That would suck.
They had some in Austin.
I don't like little bugs, you know?
No, I'm not. I don't fuck with bugs.
I heard they deep fry them. I heard they deep fry them. Yeah, I don't know
and
where.
Eat them?
I heard it was. I asked the people in Austin because I keep on seeing like the cicadas, and they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Do you deep fry them?" They said, "No, that's a Arkansas thing or something."
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah, or like Louisiana or some shit. Like.
All right, boys. Well, we're gonna go and eat some cicadas. We're gonna go eat some cicadas. Tune in to the show at IRL Alpha tonight,
7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. sharp. Come back to our show next week. Oh, and hold your rune bags. Don't be a pussy. Our rune market cap is still lower than all the other shitters and other chains. Bye, y'all.